Coming up on today's Airborne, an around-the-world flight ends in tragedy. The Blue Angels 2015 team includes the first female member, and general aviation engine technology is the next big thing. Welcome to Airborne on Aero-TV. I'm Ashley Hale. The father-son duo of Babar Suleman and 17-year-old Hera Suleman of Plainfield, Indiana, had planned their trip around the world in 30 days in a Beechcraft Model 36 Bonanza to be an adventure of a lifetime and to raise funds to support schools in Pakistan. Having completed the largest portion of their eastbound around-the-world journey, they were on a flight leg from the American Samoa Islands headed for the Hawaiian Islands. However, it's reported that shortly after takeoff from Pago Pago International Airport, their aircraft went down at sea. Reports indicate that the body of Hera Suleman has been recovered, but there is no sign of his father. Hera Suleman had just received his American private pilot certificate and was reportedly in the left seat when the airplane departed Pago Pago. In a television interview prior to departure from the U.S., Harris said, quote, "I want kids in Pakistan to have the same opportunities I have," end quote. This was a tragic conclusion to a noble adventure. The NTSB will be investigating the accident. After a reorganization at the command level of the Navy's Blue Angels demonstration flight team, the new team members for 2015 have been announced. This is the first time a woman pilot has been assigned to the team. The squadron selected Navy Commander Bob Flynn as the executive officer, along with 3 FA-18 demonstration pilots, an events coordinator officer, 2 C-130 demonstration pilots, a flight surgeon, and a supply officer to join the 2015 team. Marine pilot Captain Katie Higgins will join the team as a C-130 demonstration pilot. Commander Tom Frosch, flight leader and commanding officer for the team, said, quote, "We remain committed to selecting the most talented and qualified individuals to join the Blue Angels. Once again, a significant number of extremely talented, experienced sailors and Marines applied this year. They are excellent representatives of the skilled service members defending our freedom around the world," end quote. You're watching Airborne. We'll be back after these messages with more news and our feature of the day.
ADS-B will be mandatory for most aircraft by 2020 in the United States, but you can benefit from ADS-B today with the Bendix King KT-74 Mode S transponder. The KT-74 meets the global mandates for ADS-B out when attached to a suitable WAAS GPS. Finally, the extraordinary story of the world-changing X-Prize space competition is being told and illustrated with hundreds of insider photos in Jim Campbell's colorful new book, Beyond the Blue. Journey with Jim as he flies formation with spaceships, plays in zero gravity, prepares rocket racers, and documents the amazing first decade of the personal space race. Available this summer. Get your advance order in now by checking out www.kindredspirit.com.
Welcome back. If you'd like to suggest a story for Airborne, Aero-TV, our website, or our podcast, drop an email to jim@aero-news.net. According to aviation consultant Brian Foley, the next advancement in general aviation technology will come from the development of new engines for light aircraft. He says engine technology has remained relatively unchanged since the 1950s because of the extraordinary certification cost of new engines and a simple lack of anything better. These engines have remained the mainstay of small general aviation aircraft for decades. Foley said that new engines will actually come from technologies that already exist in automobiles and trucks in the form of diesel engines. Diesel technology has been around for a long time, but was never thought to have value in an application to airplanes. Now, considerations for ecology and high fuel prices are bringing manufacturers to realize that the time is right for diesel technology to be specialized for aviation use. Already in use on some aircraft, Foley expects to see the use of diesel technology expanded. It's Friday at last, and that means it's time for our ANN CEO Editor-in-Chief Jim Campbell to check in with his weekly Barnstorming commentary. This week, Jim notes that it's the eve of Oshkosh 2014, and we're nearly ready, but are you? Here's this week's Barnstorming.
Thanks, Ashley, and hi, folks. Excuse the mess. We're still setting up here at Oshkosh. We've been here a few days. Got a little bit of a late start due to an accident that occurred with our power system here. So a little bit of this, that, little bit of that, but hopefully we got our Oshkosh emergencies behind us, and from here on, it's going to be clear sailing, right? Look, we're really looking forward to this week ahead. There's a lot of exciting things happening. I was just over a meeting with John Manette and looking at the Subsonics jet, the second generation. There's 2 of them built now. They look great. I can't wait to fly it. It's really an extraordinary little machine. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking to see the debut of the MVP, which is a new design in the amphibian space, but done with some folks with credibility and not all the broken promises, hype and mirrors, and year after year of excuses from Icon. So we're excited about MVP. That's Mike Van Stagen, by the way, who's responsible for a lot of the things that actually did work at Cirrus, and is not responsible for all the things that didn't work at Cirrus. Good guy. And then, of course, on the avionics front, there's quite a bit of interesting stuff. Avenine appears to have gotten its certification both for the IFD 540 and the long awaited SVS for the R9 installation. We're expecting to see some real exciting things from Trig, from ForeFlight, from WingX, certainly from Aspen, and from a number of other great players. Honeywell has promised big news, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. There's so much happening here. So in and amongst all the great news, let me make one big plea to you. Get here, come here, view what we're doing, but be a part of it. Aviation, as you know, is not seeing a whole lot of great times. And while I've been criticized a little bit for talking about the things that are wrong, you can't fix something that's wrong until you start looking at it, and then you can start determining what can be right. What is right is this. Oshkosh continues to be the largest event of its kind in the world. It's a great gathering point. It's a point to renew the spirit, see new things, meet new people, and more important than anything else, refresh the spirit of the community. Let's do this. But also what's going to be interesting this year, despite a very long absence, Administrator Huerta will be here to answer questions on behalf of the FAA. You know my history in this regard. Yeah, we've got questions. Boy, do we have questions. And it is long past time that the FAA started answering them. So we're looking forward to some interesting times there, providing they don't try to put us off like they have in the past. All in all, be here, be heard, be a part of it. For gosh sakes, come to Oshkosh. We're going to have a ball. There's going to be amazing things happening, and more important than anything else, this is where aviation finds its center point. For the Aero-News Network, Airborne, and Aero-TV, I'm Jim Campbell, out in the wilds of Oshkosh, waiting for the great things to come. Bye now.
Women attending EAA AirVenture will have a show all their own when WomenVenture takes place on Wednesday, July 30th, with a day-long roster of women-centered events. Women in Aviation International, the 99s, and the EAA partner on this event in order to attract more women to career possibilities within the aviation community. WomenVenture is for women interested in any area of aviation and aerospace, and kicks off on Wednesday morning with WAI's Connect Breakfast in the EAA Nature Center beginning at 8 a.m. Participants will then assemble in the show center at 11 a.m. for the annual group photo, followed by a power lunch held at the Theater in the Woods. WAI President Dr. Peggy Chambrian said, quote, "Every year, WomenVenture grows in popularity. With the support and camaraderie WomenVenture provides, we have a host of successful stories of women who identify WomenVenture as the tipping point in their aviation interest," end quote. Airborne is brought to you by some of the best sponsors in the aviation business. We'll be right back with more news.
Since the early days of powered flight, pilots have struggled with landing in crosswinds. In fact, crosswinds and wind gusts cause more landing accidents than fog, thunderstorms, and icing combined. That's where the Redbird X-Wind SE comes in. By placing pilots in gusty crosswind conditions for extended periods of time, the X-Wind SE gives instructors all the time they need to teach the pilot the proper techniques for landing in crosswind conditions. For more information on Redbird X-Wind SE and Redbird's entire line of flight training devices, visit www.redbirdflightsimulation.com.
Welcome back. Garmin has unveiled an expanded Connects portfolio of products and features to include wireless connectivity between selected Garmin avionics and Garmin Pilot on an iPad and iPhone and certain Android mobile devices. When paired with compatible Garmin avionics, the Flightstream 110 can share weather, traffic, GPS information, Sirius XM aviation weather, and Sirius XM satellite radio on mobile devices operating Garmin Pilot. The Flightstream 210 adds two-way flight plan transfer and provides attitude information for display within Garmin Pilot. Connects encompasses a suite of capabilities which have been built into their portable product line and provide customers with more flexibility and information in the cockpit. Flightstream 210 is compatible with the GDL-88, GDL-6969A, and GTN 750-650, and is expected to be available in August. Compatibility with the GNS 430W 530W is expected to be available in September. Flightstream 110 compatibility with the GDL-88 and GDL-6969A is expected to be available in August. Connect's capability with G3X Touch is expected with a free software update later this year. The Aircraft Electronics Association 2014-2015 edition of the Pilot's Guide to Avionics will be unveiled with free distribution at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. AEA staff members will distribute thousands of free copies to pilots and aircraft owners at the AEA's AirVenture booth in Hangar B. This year marks the 12th annual issue of the Pilot's Guide to Avionics, a consumer's directory loaded with educational articles, timely information, and data about avionics technologies. The Pilot's Guide to Avionics helps pilots and aircraft owners make better buying decisions and locate nearly 1,300 AEA member companies in 43 countries. Much more than just a product guide, numerous articles are included that can be helpful for the owners of aircraft, ranging from complex high-end corporate jets to rotorcraft to light sport and home-built aircraft. If you're attending AirVenture, be sure to pick up a copy. Well, that's our program. Remember to get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories at aero-news.net. Remember, Airborne is streamed 3 times a week and is always online. Join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for a new edition. And by the way, there are now only 2 days left until the gates open at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. We're already on site and getting ready so that ANN can bring you the most comprehensive coverage in the business. I'm Ashley Hale, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you at Oshkosh.